Right, first step first. This is your starting point, right? But rather than using the orientation in the Filmic RGB, we're gonna go to exposure and then compress the history stack. And this has to do with the fact that we're going to remap the tonal range of this image using a modified generalized log logistic curve by using the Sigmoid module. So I'm gonna go to Sigmoid. I'm going to activate it. And it's important to know that modules that are placed before the Sigmoid in the pipeline operate in a scene referred space. And then modules that are being placed afterwards work in display referred space, right? Now, what's good to know about this Sigmoid module is to never use it together with another display transform module like the Filmic RGB or the base curve. And that's why I went up here and then compressed the history stack to get rid of that Filmic RGB module, right? Now the Sigmoid curve pivots around middle gray. So before using it, you should first use the exposure module to adjust the midtones to your liking. And that's why I placed it afterwards. And then the final thing that I'm going to mention is that you should try to accomplish the majority of your processing using modules in the scene referred section of the pixel pipe and not rely on the display transform module. Now go up here and then you see we've got a couple of presets: Aces, Neutral Gray, Reinhardt and Smooth. And for this image, I found out that Smooth works the best as a starting point. And then when you open this module up, you see that we've got a contrast, we've got a skew, and then we've got display luminance and we've got the primaries. So display luminance and we've got the primaries, right? Now contrast speaks for itself. The skew leans the compression towards shadows or highlights. Now you can use it to transfer some contrast from shadows to highlights or vice versa without changing the amount of contrast at middle gray. Now a positive skew that will flatten shadows and compresses the highlights, right? And a negative skew creates darker shadows and duller highlights, okay? Now make sure that you put the color processing on per channel rather than on RGB ratio, and the preserve hue will choose how much to preserve your hue, right? So 100% preserves the spectral hue of the image, and then 0% uses the per channel mode with heavy hue skewing. Now an acceptable approximation of preserved perceptual hue is usually somewhere between the two extremes. Now all colors that lie between the primary colors, so red, green, and blue, converge towards the closest secondary colors, so yellow, magenta, and cyan. Now the per channel hue skew effect creates yellow sunsets and fires, magenta-looking blue lights, and cyan skies. Now the skew is stronger for brighter and more saturated pixels, right? Like I said, you've got the display luminance, so target black and target white. Now the lower bound that the Sigmoid curve converges to as the scene value approaches 0, and it should normally be left unchanged. Now you can use this to give a faded analog look, but instead you should just use the global offset slider in the color balance RGB to get like the similar same effect. Now with white, the upper bound that the Sigmoid curve converges to as the scene value approaches infinity, and you should also normally leave this unchanged. Now you can use this to clip white at a defined scene intensity, okay? Look, there we go. And then for the primaries, so the final menu up here, we've got the base primaries, the Rec 2020. You've got the other ones, Adobe RGB compatible. You've got the sRGB and you've got the others. I'm going to leave this as is. And choosing the primaries will be used as the base for the adjustments, right? So it's a bit like locally overriding the working profile, and is necessary to allow presets to be created that don't change even if the user amends the working profile used in the pixel pipeline. Now, you see that we've got the red attenuation, red rotation, green attenuation, green rotation, and blue attenuation and blue rotation. And we've got a recover purity, okay? Now, the attenuate is the purity of the red, green, or blue primaries before the signal is processed through Sigmoid's per channel curves. Now, an important consequence is that now even the brightest and most pure inputs get smoothly degraded to achromatic at the high end. Now, this avoids posterization and flat-looking patches, which are often seen with, for example, blue LED lights. Now, the rotation ones rotate the primaries where the per channel curves are applied. So this affects hue paths when approaching white in the high end. And these controls should not normally need large adjustments from the starting values given in the smooth presets, which is the one that we've used for this image, okay? Now, recover purity will recover some of the original purity. Now, a value of 100 causes all of the attenuations to be restored after the per channel process is done, and this lands the middle range values near the original purities. A value of 0 doesn't restore the purity at all. So the more you apply attenuation, the less purity there is in the final image. And the rotations are always restored regardless of the value of the slider. And when the slider is at 0, the output of the module is guaranteed to remain with the gamut footprint of the chosen base primaries. You have to know that this Sigmoid module is not a module for color grading, right? Or for creative color grading, but rather a set of controls to provide a reasonable starting point for further edits. And the effect of these adjustments is not the same as the RGB primaries module, even though the interface looks similar. Now, here we've got the exposure, here we've got the Sigmoid activated with the smooth preset. And now I'm going to go to the color balance RGB module. Let's activate it. And we've got this same menu over here, basic colorfulness. And let's go to vibrant colors. Boom. That already looks a lot better. Now, what I did want to do right here is add some chroma grading to the midtones, add some chroma grading to the highlights. And now let's see a before and after. So here's a before, here's an after. And that's basically 2 steps that I did. So we've got the exposure one, or 3. So we went to the exposure, compression history stack. Then we've activated the Sigmoid with the smooth profile. And then we use the color balance RGB with the preset and just a manual adjustment. And now let's take a snapshot. Let's go to the first one. So here's the original image that we started with. And then here's the final edit with just a few clicks. Hope you learned something new. See you next time.